Okay, good morning everyone and welcome to today's training session on leveraging listings. One of our key factors in the FUEL, the L in FUEL stands for leveraging opportunities. And so today we're going to cover a few tips on how you can take the company's inventory if you do not have any listings yourself, or if you are an REO agent or a listing agent, to take those listings to leverage opportunities to generate more business for yourself. Okay, so today this training is going to show you how to use various places to market listings online. I will also show you how to incorporate your Boomtown account with marketing to drive traffic to your website. And then you're going to learn how you can basically use one listing with various ads and different sources. The goal is to just take the inventory, market as heavily as possible so you can appear to be a high producing agent to help you generate more business. Okay, so there are a couple of marketing sources. You have online sources, which will consist of Craigslist marketing, Zillow and Trulia, Facebook advertising, and Realtor.com. These are the top 4 sources for online lead generation. And then you have the traditional approach, which consists of open houses, hosting those, and sending out postcards. So let's get started. Okay, so just for preparation, a few things that you should have ready before you begin marketing online. You need to get you a quality headshot. This can be a picture that's taken here in the office with a white background, or you can pay a professional and go to the studio and have a good headshot created for yourself. I just took one in the office and I enhanced it, and it works. So whatever works for you. Second thing you need to do is set up your profiles on all of the websites. This is for Boomtown, Zillow and Trulia, and Realtor.com. And for rental listings, if this is your forte, you should use Postlets and Zumper. We'll get into that a little later, but you should also go ahead and set up profiles on these websites as well. You also want to establish your social media accounts. That consists of Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And Google Plus is also a good one as well. Now, if you're going to start using Facebook, you want to start by setting up a Facebook business page. And here's a quick tip. To save time, you may want to go ahead and create a bio on a Word document. Find something really good to say about yourself, to showcase your talents, what you do, what you specialize in, and basically use that same bio and copy and paste it on all profiles. That way it's consistent across the board, and when people are looking for you online, the same profile and bio will pop up with your Google search results. Okay, so the next step after you've prepared yourself with your bios and your photos, you want to start looking for your listings that you want to use for advertising. You want to identify which listings you want to use, and you can do this by pulling the company inventory from the MLS and choose the listings in which you want to promote. And from there, you can retrieve the listing in your Boomtown account. So I'm going to go into a quick demonstration on how to do this. It always starts here in Matrix. All right, so I'm going to do a basic search. And how you pull up the company's inventory, I always search by active, for sale, and then I scroll down to list broker code. Now our list broker code for Largo is CRRT4. And if you want to check out other listings that's held by other branches, you can do that as well. But I'm going to use our office for an example. Now, if you do not have this list broker code field available in your search for Matrix, you go here to add remove fields, because it's not going to be defaulted. So you're going to have to add the field in your account. And then you go through the list, you search for list broker code, everything is in alphabetical order, and then you add it to the side, to the right side. Okay? So just an FYI, list broker code will not be available if you have not set that up. So I've already entered the listing broker code for Largo. And I hit results. Now I like to search my listings by multi-line agent, and that way this view can show me all the listings in more detail. This kind of helps me pick out which listing I want to use to market. So once you scroll through the list, you find as many properties as you like to market, and then we're going to jump into the training. Now, I'm going to use Kingswell Street. All right, so I've identified my listing. A lot of times what I would do, I would review the agent's remarks, the internet public remarks. If the agent has a really good, decent write-up, then I would just normally copy and paste the remarks as in regards to a description. You also want to get the photos off. Now, here's the thing. If you're taking photos from MRIS, you have to crop out the copyright. So just keep that in mind. If the pictures look presentable to you, you can just save the pictures to your computer and crop out the copyright. I normally create a folder in my pictures section, and I title it, for instance, this one will be titled Kingswell Street. And then I'll just click on the image, right click with my mouse, save image as, and then I save it into the folder that I've created. And then from there I go to editing the photos by cropping or enhancing, adding more light. A great photo editing software would be Picasa. That's by Google and it's free. Okay, so let's jump back into the presentation. So now we pulled the company inventory and I've identified my listing that I would like to market. So let's take this listing and start with Craigslist. Craigslist, I'm going to do a demonstration on how to use Craigslist for those of you who have not seen the Craigslist ad training. Craigslist is the best approach to get quality results from Craigslist. It's best that you post at least 10 ads per day. The easiest way to do this is to set up a Word document that will have your content already established. So you can put different call to actions, you can include your links, all your contact information. I normally create this on a Word document. That way I can just copy and paste them into my Craigslist ad to make the multiple postings more easier. So just be sure it's easy to set up a Craigslist account. This is easy for posting. And to also be sure to include the company's name, office number, and equal housing in your ad. So quickly, I'm going to jump into a Craigslist posting. Now, I'm going to start with the traditional approach for Craigslist. And there's a couple ways. You can list a property for sale, and for this one I'm going to stick with Kingswell Street. This is the standard way, and you basically take the listing and you promote it on Craigslist. When you're doing any form of advertising, whether it's online with Craigslist or it's running a Facebook advertisement, you want to focus on who your target audience is going to be. So if you want to focus on market targets like REOs and short sales, rent to own, you can focus on features like a one-level house or something that's next to a very popular metro, luxury amenities. All these things you can kind of use as a pinpoint on how you're going to target your listings. You can also use an approach to list a similar property to the one that you're advertising and include a link to other listings. So we're going to jump into that right now. So you're on Craigslist. You're under housing. You're going to click on real estate for sale. If you're advertising a rental, of course, that's going to be rental housing. You're going to click on post. You go back, click the wrong button. Housing offered. Real estate by broker. You will abide by the terms. This one here is in Maryland. And then you just start typing your ad. You definitely, here in this field, you want to include your direct contact number or the call center number. And my title for this one, I'm just going to put single family home available in Bowie. All right, so now I have my title. Of course, you guys are going to be a lot more creative than I am. And then here's where I go to my listing in the MLS that I've selected. And I'm just going to copy and paste the remarks here. This again is the traditional approach where we're just advertising a listing. And you may want to put for more info or to schedule a showing. Contact Rhonda Hayes at 301-796-1527. This is where I refer back to my Word document. Copy and paste this one into the ad. Voila. So the actual content is done. This is where you fill out all the information on your ad. How many bedrooms, etc. I normally don't recommend putting the map here. It's going to default anyways. Hit continue. And here is where I start adding my images. So as you can see, all these folders created in the picture section. This is what I had mentioned before, creating a folder specifically for the property you're marketing. Makes it much easier for you to be organized when you're posting your ads. Here we are, Kingswell. All right. All right. So I'm pretty much, at this time, it's not posted. This kind of gives me a preview of what the ad will look like. I'm not going to publish this ad. I'm just doing it for the sake of the training. So that is the traditional approach. Another approach that I like to use, and this one is more popular, is I call it the dual approach. And by the way, this is how the ad will look once it's completed. This was done previously from another training, so you guys can kind of see the ending result. The dual approach is when you take the same property. Oh, one step I missed. Excuse me, guys. You got to get this stuff from your Boomtown website. Okay. So what you want to do, Boomtown has been giving me some problems earlier. There we go. So what you want to do is you want to go into your Boomtown account and search for the listing, because you want to take the listing from your Boomtown account and insert it into your ad, because you want your traffic to be directed here into your Boomtown account. So for instance, This is the link I would use to say for more info. You can click on this link, and this is for the traditional approach. But if you want to use the dual approach, which is here, you're basically marketing the house, but you say something for more available homes, just like this one, view this link here. And this is the link that I used here to find similar properties, similar to the advertisement that I'm running. And so pretty much what I did here, when you're in Boomtown, you can conduct a search yourself. And you can search the property based on the type, city, price range that's similar to the property in which you're marketing. So all of these homes are properties that I've searched out under my Boomtown website, and these are the results that came back. So if I want to drive someone on my advertisement in Craigslist to view for the dual approach, and be sure after you finish completing your search, click on the gallery button, because this is the view that you're going to see. And this is the same view you want your consumers to see. So you want to make sure you have the gallery button link that you're inserting into your ad. So for the dual approach, I am marketing an active listing, so in case someone is interested in that listing, but I'm also directing them to a link here that's going to take them to the results in Boomtown. They're going to check out the houses, they're going to like some things, they're going to start browsing your site, and then that's how you capture the lead with the Craigslist. In Craigslist, you just got to be very careful on the verbiage that's used. You can't use verbiage like copy and paste this link here. You have to use something like use this link, or else you will be flagged, or you won't be able to even submit the advertisement on Craigslist. So we've covered the traditional approach on Craigslist, which is basically taking the listing of your choice and marketing it online, knowing who your target audience is. And then we have the dual approach, where you're taking that same listing. You may want to change the title a bit, and we're going to go over a few call to action titles later on. You'll see that shortly. But the goal is you can use the same house, different titles, even different pictures. So instead of using the exterior picture, if there's a nice kitchen, you can use the kitchen shot, and creating several ads. This is how you can get your 10 postings in one day just on Craigslist. Okay? All right. So let's talk about Zillow and Trulia very briefly. So all MLS listings are automatically uploaded to Zillow and Trulia and Realtor.com. Once they're on the MLS, they automatically are directed to Zillow. However, if you're trying to generate business and leverage your listings, any agent with a Zillow profile, Trulia profile, Realtor.com, take Realtor.com out, I'm sorry. Realtor.com, you cannot manually post listings. It's basically a great approach to use for people who have tons of listings already. So if you're an REO agent with several listings, your properties are posted on Realtor.com automatically. The key to that is setting up your profile so that your listings are high up in the search results on Realtor.com. But for Zillow and Trulia, even if you don't have your own listings, it's all about setting up your profile. Once you do that, and that started with our preparation, any agent can post a listing. And you can use your Boomtown virtual tour link to include in the Zillow listing. You don't have to use the defaulted link. So let me show you guys what I'm referring to. All right. So we're going to Zillow. When you go to Zillow, it's going to direct you here. You click on the Agent Hub. Now, if you do not have this Agent Hub set up, then that means you haven't set up your profile. So that goes back to preparation. You want to definitely set up your profile first so you can have access to the Agent Hub. Okay, so here are a few listings. Now, these are listings that I already have on the market. But if I didn't have a listing and I wanted to showcase one of the company listings, I just simply go here. It says post a new listing. You can post a coming soon listing, by the way, and you can post a property that's already listed. And so you do that, you just pretty much type the address, Kingswell Street, I'm using for this example, Bowie, Maryland. Then you hit continue. Now it's going to ask you, okay, we found a close match. I always just use what I've entered and hit continue. Okay, it's going to ask you for the map location. You just hit yes, it's correct. And from here, this is where you start posting your Zillow listing. You can put the sales price. You start uploading your pictures here. The more pictures, if you get at least 12 pictures, it's going to post you higher up on the search results. So the more pictures, the better. For Zillow, Trulia, all these online places where you're posting listings, the more listings, the better. Now, here's what I was referring to, the virtual tour URL. Now, what I would do, because when people view the Zillow listing, they're going to have access to these links. Good way to draw traffic back to you is use the Boomtown links in these portals. So instead of using a virtual tour URL, I would put my Boomtown listing URL here. And that way when they click on the listing, it's just going to redirect them back to Boomtown. And that is the goal. The goal is to use these portals to drive traffic to you directly. Start filling in the specs, and then you save your listing. Okay, this is also another place where you can post open houses for properties. Even if it's not your listing, you can post open houses here on Zillow as well. Okay, so let's go back. So once we're done, this is what the consumer is going to see. And here's that virtual tour link. This is actually another site that I use personally for myself. But this is me using that link to drive traffic to me directly. Okay, so that's a tip you can use with Zillow. Trulia is no different. And in fact, now Trulia, the accounts are now connected. So whenever you post something to your Zillow account, it's going to automatically update your Trulia profile. So you won't have to worry about double entry. So in Trulia, you go here to submit listings, and then you submit a listing for sale here. Now, this is the thing. Although the Zillow and Trulia sites are now intertwined, your profile is going to be updated. Meaning if you have a new listing yourself in the MLS, that's going to automatically post to both. But if you're uploading, if you have no listings and you're trying to leverage the listings inventories to generate business for yourself, you will still have to go in here to manually input the listings. That information will not automatically populate. Only your production, and that's another key factor in which I have here. You want to make sure if you have a Zillow and Trulia Realtor.com accounts, you want to make sure that you're updating your profiles to include your contact information and your production. They do not automatically capture your closed sales, which is a really big thing if consumers are checking you out on these sites. You want your reviews to be posted when you're done with the client, and you also want your production to be posted as well, so people can see your activity. Okay, Now that information is not going to manually go in there. You have to do, it's not going to automatically go there. It's just going to automatically feed listings in from the MLS. But you should update your accounts. And once you update Trulia, it updates Zillow. But again, if you're running manual listings, you want to make sure that you're manually putting those into each portal, except for Realtor.com. Okay, all right. So now with Facebook, let me jump into this real quick. Now, I'm not going to go into demonstrations on how to run a Facebook ad. I've already done this before, and I've included the video link here for you guys to check out demonstration step by step. But I will kind of briefly go over it. Give me one moment, guys. All right. So just briefly with Facebook, of course, you got to create your business page first. You want to choose your direct page or link or landing page in which you want to market. So for instance, if you want to market sellers, you want to take that Boomtown seller valuation page, or you want to take the link of the listing that you're posting. So for instance, here I'm running this Kingswell Street. So if I'm advertising Kingswell Street on Facebook, then this is the link that I'm going to use to direct people to my site. If I'm posting, if I'm just posting home valuation services for free on Facebook, then I'm going to include the landing page link to the home valuation site for my Boomtown account. Where is it? All right. So this is the instant valuation landing page. This is the link you want to use if you're targeting sellers on Facebook. So let's jump into that just step by step. Okay, and then after that you want to define your demographic. Be very specific of who your target market is. This will help minimize the ad spend. Then you want to set a budget, and your budget on Facebook can be as low as $20 for a month. And then you create the ad, and here again I have the video demonstration showing you step by step. But let's take a look. So after you log into the account, you select your business page here in Facebook. You then send people to that website, and again that website link would be your seller valuation landing page or a property listing in Boomtown that you're marketing. This is where you define your campaign. And basically you're pretty much giving it a title, and then you insert the link that you're driving people to. Then you want to define your demographic. Again, it's very important to be very specific on who you want to target. So, for instance, if you're trying to target someone for that property in Kingswell and Bowie, then you want to kind of just minimize the demographic to not too far from that Bowie City location. I would say maybe no more than 2 miles out. You can narrow it down to age demographics. So if you know the first time home buyer age range starts around 25, this is where you can start your target audience all the way up until 65. You can target genders, which I would not do because that's against fair housing regulation, but you also can target their income. Again, you can tune into the video to get more specifics on how to do that. And then you set your budget. So you can run an ad for a week, you can run it for 3 weeks, you can run it for a month, as long as it doesn't go over your budget that's set, and you can set this thing to run a minimum of $3 a day. And then your ad will stop running once the clicks reach your ad spend budget. Okay, then you fill out the sections to finalize your ad. You want to make sure you're using great call to action pieces and good photos. So let's jump into the call to action really quickly. So again, you want to know your target audience for the listing and their landing page. And this is, although it says these are great tips for Facebook, but these are great tips in general, even when you're advertising on Craigslist. You want to know your target audience. You want to run several different ads for the same property. Change the main photo for Facebook. You can change the main photo after running the ad for the first week. You can run the same ad just with a different photo. You can use a different call to action message. Make sure you're using high quality photos. This is very, very important because the photo is key. Not only is your call to action going to capture their attention, but the photos is what's really going to get them to want to click on your ad. And then again, we're going to talk about using creative call to action messages. All right, so some sample call to action messages. For instance, if you're trying to reach buyers, you may want to put something just listed. Get the current price, photos, and school info on this 4-bedroom home in Russet. Again, this is just this is targeting people in Russet who want to know information about a specific property. Another call to action for sellers is get your home's value now. 134 homes sold in Bowie last month. This affects the value of your home. They're going to want to know how this affects the value of the home by requesting an instant valuation. You put the sense of urgency in there by saying 134 homes sold. This affects the value of your home. Just sold is another great one to generate buyers and also sellers leads. You can say this house just sold. Sold home prices affect the value of your home. Get the final sales price now. And for investors, for REOs, if you're trying to target investors, this is a really good one. Investor special, opening bid starting at $20,000. What is that going to do? It's going to attract investors, and most importantly, it's going to attract people who know what their budget is already, who has $20,000 to spend on an investment property. And then you're going to direct them to an REO property. And another good one is coming soon. Hurry if you are a buyer or have buyers under 300K, 2,000 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. So what you're going to do is you're going to use some messages similar to this, and you're going to roll them into your Craigslist ads, but you're going to include a photo, and you want to include a link to those properties to draw people back to you. Now, when you take a look at the Facebook training, it's very important on how you're using these messages in Facebook and where they go. So this is a sample view. You want to make sure that your message, for instance, get the current price and photos, is above the property photo. And if it's just listed, you want to indicate that it's just listed, and you want to specify the location. Okay, and this kind of highlights on where that goes when you're posting your Facebook ad, and again, the video goes into a lot more details. But these are just a few examples of call to action messages that get people to respond to your ad. This is a sample of what one of those ads will look like on Facebook once it's completed. But this is this is the importance that I want you guys to understand with running ads. You can take one property and run several different ads with different photos, and then you look like a top producing agent, because then the power of the one is good, but it's better when you have several. Okay, so you can have the one ad running, but you can have several different ads running at the same time. And when people see that on Facebook all week long, you're looking like a superstar. Okay, so here's the one ad to target buyers. Here's the other one to target people, to lead them to your home valuation landing page. And here's one for an open house. This is a great way to promote open houses as well. I made the mistake of including the date and time for the open house. Just to note, and we're going to talk about that shortly when we get into open house. When you're promoting open houses online, it's key to not include the date and the time. And then here's why. You want your ad to seem timeless. You want the ad to continue to generate leads for you even after the open house. So if you go into specifics on when the open house is, then they're not going to click on it if they know they're not available during that date and time. So, here's just a few ads that I've ran in the past, just showing you guys a screenshot, but it's very important to kind of run these at the same time, because then you're looking like an agent who's busy, and that's the appearance you want to give out. Okay. Be sure to check out that Facebook, YouTube training. It shows you step by step if you have some time. Okay, so let's jump into other outlets. So I spoke about Zillow and Trulia and Realtor.com. So again, just want to reiterate, for sales, these portals, you just set up your profile and post the listings manually. And to be sure to update your profile with reviews and production. That's very, very key when people are looking at you online. They want to see what type of ratings you're getting, what people are saying about you. Always try to request a review from your past clients. And once you set up your Zillow account, they make it easy for you can just send this request over to your client directly, and it redirects them back to Zillow where they can include a review for you. Realtor.com, if you don't have a profile set up and you have listings, and you're not doing yourself justice, because your listings are out there, but people don't know who you are when they see your listings. So if you're an REO agent and you have at least 3 listings, you should be on Realtor.com setting up your profile. Okay, and for rentals, Postlist and Zumper. These are very good sites to use. Postlist is actually owned by Zillow, so they basically capture the same audience, but they do it specifically for rentals. And Zumper is good as well. Okay, again, all you do is set up the profiles and manually upload the listing. So let me see if I have a Postlets. I know I do. Oops, the wrong way. I know I have one on here because I just recently posted something. So let me pull this up for you guys to show you how it works. Okay, there I am. All right, so this is an ad that I'm running for a rental Atlanta. And this, once you upload your listing, it's going to give you your own URL for each listing. So you can take this same URL and you can post it to your ads on Facebook. Once you post this on Facebook or anywhere, it's going to automatically generate the photo or give some type of quick general synopsis of this page. But this is a great way. Not only does Zumper and Postlets find prospects for you, but this, once you set up the profile, it just makes you look like a professional. This is what your ad is going to say. This is how they reach you. This gives them the slideshow and the map, all those things. And then they're going to basically send leads directly to you. I actually got one. This is going to feature on Zillow, HotPads, Trulia, and it's going to target rentals, people who are looking for rentals specifically. So I like using this one, and I also think Zumper, even though they're not a Zillow affiliate, they still also generate very high quality leads for rentals as well. So check those out. And let's jump back into this. So check out Postlets, Zumper. If you want to start focusing on rentals, if there's some new agents on the call, if you're starting out, I highly recommend starting out with rentals to get your feet wet. And you can we have quite a few rentals available. You can do the same thing that I just did with the MLS search, but you can just pull rentals and you can go directly to Postlets and Zumper and Craigslist and market the rental listings that way to generate you some rental business. Okay, and while we're on the subject of Realtor.com, A lot of people are mobile nowadays. You know, they start their searches, yes, online, but they're doing it from their phones and from their tablets. Realtor.com has it set up where you can get mobile with them. All you have to do is set up your Realtor.com profile. So I've included the link here. After you create your profile, how does it get set up to generate business from your listings by getting mobile. Okay, you can set up your profile. Your agent profile will be displayed and it connects you with clients mobily. And then you can also start inviting other people to check out your Realtor.com profile. If they're browsing, if you found them browsing somewhere else, you can direct them to your Boomtown, of course, but you also want to direct them to Realtor.com as well. Okay, so we talked about a lot of online approaches. Let's talk about some of the traditional approaches. And one of them most popular is the open house. Everyone knows, you know, open house is a great way to meet prospects and also meet the neighbors. So even if you don't have a listing, I'm quite sure there are tons of listing agents here that would not mind if you are hosting an open house for them. That's the way to showcase their listing to the public, and they're doing the service for the seller without the agent actually doing the work. But it's a good way for you to showcase yourself to the public and also meet the neighbors and generate some business as well. So, how do you leverage an open house? Here's a few ideas. Again, you want to volunteer to leverage some of the listings here. And then you want to go at least 1 hour early to an open house. Reach out to the local homeowners and let them know that you're having an open house. Invite them. Make sure, and if you're passing out a flyer, this is the key. The point of meeting the neighbors at an open house is that you want to try to generate business from the neighbors. So if you want to try to generate business, you want to give them something, even if it's just a quick market report or if it's a postcard. But the good way to make sure that you're capturing them is to make sure you direct them to your home valuation landing page. So when I send out postcards or if I have a flyer, I make sure I include some type of verbiage that says, find out what your home is worth. And I have a domain that's called Home Values DMV. You want to find something catchy, and you can use that same domain and direct them to your Boomtown seller valuation landing page. You can just forward it directly to that same page. That way, once you're passing out the flyers, you're providing them information, you're giving them something of value, which is a free report, but you're also giving them a way where they can get some information from you, and you can also get information from them by capturing their lead. Okay, and of course you want to get your buyers to sign in. And just remember, this is the key. The goal is to generate business, but you have to remember that you are technically representing the seller when you are hosting an open house. So you want to use the sign-in sheet to leverage appointments, but you just want to still focus on marketing the property. Okay? All right. So before the open house, what do? You want to update the MLS listing to include the open house date and time. If you are not the listing agent and you're hosting the open house for them, then you contact the listing agent or myself, and we can post this in the MLS for you. The MLS, once the open houses are posted there, is basically going to feed it through all internet portals so people can know that there is an open house. But I also take the second additional step, which is, again, posting this on Zillow. People will actually go to Zillow as well to locate open houses. So what do? You go to Zillow, like I showed you earlier, and you create the listing. But then in the open house section, you just include that you're hosting an open house on a specific date and time, and that will be showcased on Zillow. And then, of course, it's going to automatically populate on Trulia. You can also post this open house on your Facebook page, and you can then boost your page for additional $20. That's basically what I did here for this Facebook ad here. So I posted it and I boosted it for $20. It reached 4,000 people, and I got 146 post clicks. So, once you post something on Facebook, and again, I actually show you this in the Facebook ad training, so you can check that out. You can just basically post it to your page. And again, the key, and don't make the same mistake that I did, you want to make sure that you're not including the date and time. You just want to say they're just having an open house. Okay, again, arrive 1 hour early, reach out to the neighbors. And the key rule is to at least 6 doors. So you want to knock 6 doors to the left, 6 doors to the right, and invite them. Maybe you can do like a neighbor preview before the open house starts. And just introduce yourself. And of course, you want to post signs throughout the neighborhood, definitely on major roads that's leading to the property, not just in the neighborhood, but you want to go out on the major streets letting people know that there is an open house, and to follow your signs. And then the key to this is start promoting early. Start promoting like on Thursday. That way, you're giving the internet portals and feeds time enough to get out there, and you're prepping the community so they can plan accordingly as well. All right, and during the open house, of course, you ask the visitors to sign in. I think you guys should try using a different approach than the traditional sign-in sheet. If you have a tablet or an iPad, try using the Open Home Pro app. I promoted this before in a sales meeting. It's a great app. It makes you look chic and different and up to date. Instead of having people sign in on a sign-in sheet, you have them type in their name on a tablet. Who doesn't like to play with the gadget? And then that way, it kind of helps you follow up better with the client, because it's going to organize your leads for who signed in. You can actually see and understand their email address, versus if they're handwriting, sometimes you don't understand people's handwriting. So it's a good way for you to kind of look a little different, but it also captures the information that you're trying to get when people are signing in. Again, that app is called Open Home Pro. You cannot download it on your phone. It will recognize that it's a phone, and it will not download for you. This should be done on a tablet. This is free. However, they have additional services in which they will follow up with your leads for you and customize emails that's sent to your leads. However, once you capture the lead in Open Home Pro, you can just insert that information into your Boomtown account and take it from there. I would encourage a raffle drawing. A free gas card or a Starbucks card is a cheap raffle prize, but it will kind of get people encouraged and motivated to join your raffle. And if you do not want to use the Open Home Pro app, instead of using a sign-in sheet with one sign-in sheet with everyone named, I would take a flyer and then put general information like the name and get like a feedback form, basically. That way, you're saving each form separately. You can use that as the raffle prize. Just fold it up and put it in your bucket and pull that form. And then another thing I noticed is when you use one sign-in sheet at an open house, if the person at the top did not want to include their email address or their phone number, then the following people, they may want to do the same thing. So basically, I'm saying if you have separate sign-in sheets, you're probably going to get a lot more information when they come in. Okay, just a little tip. And also be knowledgeable about the listing in the neighborhood. Of course, they're going to want to know square footage. They're going to know how long it's been on the market. They're going to want to know information about the neighborhood. So, just be knowledgeable about that. And then also take plenty of photos. If your open house is booming and is looking busy, just go off in a corner somewhere and take shots of the action, and then promote your photos online. Okay. After the open house, follow up. That's number one. Insert all of your visitors into your Boomtown CRM and place them on a drip campaign and call them. And then, of course, send all the neighbors a thank you card and a note for visiting. So that's my spiel on open houses. Now let's talk a little bit about the other traditional source of marketing, which is direct response marketing and postcards. What is it? It's providing a service offering and clients contact you directly. So we're really big on value proposition. You want to be able to show a consumer that you are offering something of value. You're offering them information. And of course, anybody can just Google things, but you kind of want to put this on your marketing pieces. So this is a sample of what a standard postcard will look like. Free market analysis, find out what your home is worth. Yeah, that sounds good. But again, I like to use terms like find out what your house is worth now at homevaluesdmv.com, because they're going to go there. They're going to go there directly, and then they're going to fill out information versus calling you. They may not do that. Okay, so you want to send out postcards. In terms of leveraging the listings, you want to take a postcard and send it to the neighbors of listings that you're targeting. So if you're targeting Kingsville Street and you want to get some more listings in that neighborhood, hey, send it to the neighbors. They recognize the sign out front. They know there's a property available. I would talk to the listing agent first if you want to take this approach, if you are not the listing agent, and find out if they've already done so. And then you just want to market directly to the neighbors. Let them know that you have a buyer. If you are an REO agent, then you should be developing a portfolio of potential investors, cash investors. Use that cash investors list as an approach to get other listings in that neighborhood. You just say, hey, listen, I have this house available a few doors down, and I have quite a few buyers. Some of them are all cash. Would you be interested in selling? I mean, these are things that that's your value proposition to a seller. You have potential buyers. And again, you can't go wrong with offering the instant valuation. Again, heavily advise that you take out a domain that's catchy and just forward that to your home valuation page in Boomtown and just promote that landing page as much as possible. Okay, and so that's how you can leverage the listings to target sellers. And here's what you can do to target your buyers. You get with John Soka from Carrington Mortgage and you find ways to promote that Carrington loan program. I mean, 550, credit score as low as 550, that is a very competitive program. You want to create a very simple generic postcard promoting the benefits of the Carrington loan. And Carrington will cover 80% of the cost. So John Soka is going to talk more about that at the mastermind, and I will give you guys an update on how to set that up. But these are things that are accessible to you here as an agent. Just take advantage of them. Promote that Carrington loan, that 550 credit score, and that they will pay up to 6% in closing costs. You can create those flyers or postcards, and you can go knocking on some doors at apartments or getting some door hangers and just stuffing them in apartment buildings. These are ways that you can target buyers. And then you may want to also get you a property manager in your pocket. You know, a lot of them know when people are planning to move, and they can recommend you to their tenants as they're moving. Okay, so that's pretty much it. My favorite, of course, are the internet approaches. I think, you know, you can save a lot of money online by establishing a very cheap budget, and you can maximize on a demographic. You can target your audience more specifically. But you know, the old school approaches, postcards and open houses are effective as well. So once you collaborate all these different approaches, especially online, the result will be that you will be driving traffic directly to your Boomtown website. I mean, that's essentially what you want to do. Because once they get on Boomtown, the system is going to do the rest to capture the lead for you. Okay? They will begin browsing and revisiting. They will register, and then the lead is generated to you. And of course, we know the key to all of this is following up. You must contact them in order to convert them, and contact them more than once. Your social media and online brand will grow when you start posting these several ads consistently on Facebook, or sharing your Zumper or Trulia profiles or postings on your social media accounts. Your brand will grow. And then you will close more deals and also impress potential sellers who are watching you market all these different properties. So that's where we are, you guys, with the leveraging your listings. I think this should become a routine habit. If you are an REO agent, you should be posting, marketing your listings daily, or trying to find a way to push your listings out there on a daily or at least twice a week. If you are a brand new agent, we have plenty of inventory that you can take and use to grow your business. All you have to do is make these approaches a habit and keep promoting them. So I highly encourage that. If you guys have any questions, if you want to brainstorm on more call to action messages, feel free to shoot me an email, because this is key. You got to know how to captivate the audience in order to get their attention. And the call to action messages is the best way to do it. So again, I've already created a Facebook training step-by-step video that's included here in the recap. You can check out that video to learn more on how to start posting on Facebook. I have recorded this one. I will be holding it as an exclusive to everyone who's attended today's session, and I will forward that out to you guys only, and we'll wait to forward it to the rest of the team. Does anybody have any questions at this time?